Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anna. I'm a 22-year-old uni student who, when I'm not studying, working, etc., I am reselling women's clothing on platforms such as eBay and Depop part-time. And in today's video, it's going to be something a little bit different for me. I am going to talk you through a new platform which I used to do a little bit of sourcing to resell online, and that is Whatnot. So Whatnot is a sort of newish platform, at least to me, that has sort of come out in the last year. And it is a platform that does a lot of live streams where you can jump on and buy a range of things. One of those categories is clothing, used as well as brand new with tags, which is the items behind me. So yeah, basically they have a bunch of sort of high-end-ish items, at least the shows that I've seen, that will sort of sporadically come out throughout the show. That everyone's sort of hanging out for, getting ready to bid on when they come on, that you can also pre-bid for. But then sort of throughout those, to fill them in, they're just randomly pulling items, and then whoever is there wants to bid, whoever's watching can bid. And then it's just the highest bidder in the very short period of time that they give per item wins. So yeah, I'm going to go through the items that I picked up through the Black Friday, 2 shows that I watch on Black Friday, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts at the end about what I think about sourcing on Whatnot and whether I recommend it for you guys watching. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So all of these items, except for one, I believe, were new with tags. So one of the shows that I watched, everything on Black Friday was new with tags show. And then another one, I think most of the items were new with tags. So this first one here is a brand new with tags, Esther & Co, I think is how you pronounce it, size 16 or 2XL, beautiful little cotton dress. It's a mini dress. Looks quite flattering actually. It's got a little zip on the side. It's very basic. I do like this little detail on the front. I think, doing a bit of research, I think this is just one of those boutique Australian brands. Correct me if I'm wrong. In all honesty, should I have picked this one up? Probably didn't need to, but this will be something I'll discuss at the end. So for the second show, which is what I'm going to go through first, that I purchased from, I worked out that my average cost of good per item was $14.15. So I had $14.15 into this one, and I'm going to list it up for $29.95. So I'm going to pop on the screen using the eBay profit calculator how much that is going to profit me. From memory, should be about maybe $15. So yeah, look, bread and butter. I've never picked up this boutique brand before, so it'll be interesting to see how well it sells. I think it'll do pretty well this time of year. It's a nice generous size. It's 100% cotton, really good basic item. I think I can keyword it well and get that one out. So that was the first one that I picked up. Next up, we have another bread and butter item. This one is a size 10 Country Road black linen pair of pants. Definitely could be a workwear piece. I did actually pick this one up potentially for myself, but it's a bit of a straight leg and I think I prefer more of a wide fit. Regardless, I had $14.15 into this one, so I'm going to list it up for $39.95. I just sold a size 8 pair of pants, so yeah, and they did really well. So look, bread and butter, it's linen. We're in the heat of summer here in Australia, so this one will do fantastic. Next up, we have a brand that I have never seen before. This one was, again, brand new with tags. The brand is Orientique, and it is a size Australian 10, sort of caftan, gorgeous dress. I love those sleeves. I love these little frills on the bottom. Isn't that gorgeous? This one is very gourmet-esque. So I'm gonna have to come up with some really good keywords, but I think this one is gorgeous. It'll do great. It is one of those ethical sort of brands that use recycled materials. So we've got 100% certified forestry, low water consumption, biodegradable, traceable source. So it's one of those ethical brands. I do see that at some point in a boutique it was selling for $99, but I'm going to list this one up for $39.95. And I think, again, this time of year that we're in, I think it was 100% rayon. I think it's going to do really well. And yeah, if this one does tick through as well as I think it probably will, I'm definitely going to have to keep an eye out for it, because yeah, this particular seller was selling a couple of these, so I definitely think I could, you know, potentially get on in the future and pick up more of these items. But yeah, it looks like a really cute boutique brand. I like, you know, sustainable fashion, that idea, and you know, it's super cute print. So I think that one will do pretty well. And then finally from that sale, we had a gorge size 10, again, brand new with tags. There's the retail price there. This one here is a black jumpsuit. So it is 100%, is it 100% cotton, or is this one? Oh no, this one was a linen and cotton blend. So, you know, it's just sort of very basic jumpsuit with the really long pants. I'm going to list this one up for $39.95. Again, I had the $14.15 into them, and we're just going to see how we go. In all honesty, I think I'll discuss it a little bit later, but this was probably one that I didn't really need to pick up, but I will sort of discuss why I picked this one up, and sort of what my thoughts are at the end. But you know, it's not a terrible item. Everything was brand new with tags, which I think was what made me more inclined to also purchase. You know, having a brand new with tags item is way more desirable to a potential buyer than a pre-loved item. But yeah, I was pretty happy with that one. It's basic. So I think the real winner from this second sale, or second show should I say, were these pair of shoes. So we have some size 37 Baird footwear, little cream monk, what are they called? Monks size monks shoes. These are some really gorgeous leather workwear shoes. So as you can see, they're in great condition. They are brand new with the tags. These retail for a couple of $100. So I had $14.80 into them, and I'm going to list them up for $149.95. Two things to note: they don't have the box, which is why I listed them for a little bit lower. There's some selling for like, or listed for $200, and I've noticed that there is a little bit, and this was disclosed in the show, but there is a little bit of, it sort of looks like ink, so they do need a bit of a polish to get those out. I'm gonna give it a go and see if I can get those out, but look, regardless, I think I'm gonna still do really well with those. I'll just disclose it. I have, you know, chosen to list them for a little bit less, but these I think were a great pickup. These were one of those items that were shown as the more desirable pieces that you could pre-bid on, and they came throughout the show. But yeah, no one really wanted to buy them. So yeah, I ended up paying $14.80 with post. So I think I did really, really well with those ones there. So next up we have this gorgeous 100% silk little tank top. It is by the brand Luxe Deluxe, which was a boutique brand. I did a bit of research, which actually closed down here in Australia. So that is the tag there. So this one here, because I picked it up from another seller and I didn't buy as much, it came to $22.42 with postage. So I'm going to list this one up for $37.95. So my profit is going to be only about $9 when I looked in the eBay profit calculator, which does go to show that you really need to be careful of shipping on whatnot. It is a gorgeous piece, although it's probably not something that I would have picked up in, you know, hindsight again, but we're just going to see how it goes. It's silk, it's gorgeous. I can keyword it really well, and I think I'll still come away with some profit. But this was the item that I really wanted to show you guys. So this was one of those designer pieces that they were sort of promoting as, you know, would be included in the show, and everyone was sort of hanging out for. So this is a brand new pair of designer dress pants. So the brand is 16 Arlington, which is a, you know, London-based brand. There is the tag there. Now these pants retail from anywhere from, say, I think I was looking at like $500-600 Australian dollars upwards. So they retail for some crazy money. These are absolutely gorgeous. They've got these really beautiful details. They are a nice sort of straight cut. They are in a size 8, which is, you know, not the biggest of sizes, but I bidded on these ones probably a little bit crazy. So they ended up being $101.39 with postage. However, I'm going to list them up for $279 and just see how I go. I might also pop them on Vestiaire Collective. I do pretty well selling these sort of items on there, as well as eBay, and just see how I go. So my thoughts on Whatnot. I think that it would be fantastic for just everyday buyers. For myself, I just want to purchase something that I think I can get a pretty good deal on. You get a bit of a thrill out of it. Yeah, I think well and truly Whatnot is a great place for, you know, just everyday buyers. In terms of resellers, I also think there is some great opportunity. As you can see, I will profit on every single one of these items. You know, 2 of the items I'm profiting about $100 on each of them. So, you know, you can see if you're hanging out for those more designer pieces that they're showing throughout the shows, you know, spending a bit of time on there, you can definitely do really well. What I will say is that there's sort of 2 things you need to watch out for. The first thing is I almost feel like it feels sort of like gambling. It feels like there's a rush of adrenaline, you know, they sort of sell it really well, everyone's sort of bidding, and it can be really easy to just, you know, bid, and then you realize you spent X amount and you're like, holy crap. Especially, which is my second thing, is not taking into account postage. So, you know, a couple of these items I ended up bidding $9, $10, $13 for, but then when the postage was added in, it's sort of almost doubled in price. So if you're not careful, I think that is where you can get into a little bit of trouble on Whatnot. What I can say is I noticed there is a feature that you can turn on where you can bundle everything from one seller throughout a week of their shows. So, you know, if this is a place that you go to often for sourcing, you know, for a particular seller, you know, they have great stock, good prices, and they have a couple of shows, you know, and you are willing to put into the time to sit on these streams and to bid for the good items, then you can probably do pretty well with, you know, averaging out those shipping. As you can see, that second sale that I did where I purchased a couple of items and I evened out the shipping, it didn't work out too bad. We're looking at about $14 per piece, and you know, if I purchased a couple of more items, I can only imagine that probably would have decreased even more. So overall, I think Whatnot can be a great place for sourcing. I just think you have to be a little bit mindful of shipping and really thinking through, you know, whether those items that you're picking up are a good buy. You know, a lot of the brands, as you could see, I've never heard of before. As I'm watching, I'm also trying to look up comps on these brands if I can find them. A lot of them are boutique brands, which you sort of have to keyword well because they're not brands that people are always looking out for. You know, a lot of these people that are doing these streams are also resellers. You know, they have their own eBay store. So these items that they're selling may be items that they're struggling to sell themselves, or they have excess of for whatever reason. So, you know, it's always good to do a little bit of research rather than getting into the excitement of the bidding process, which is probably something that I fell into a couple of times throughout this experience. But, you know, it was a bit of a test run Spent about $250 overall, I think, and yeah, it was a bit of fun. I should be able to profit on everything, and it made, I guess, an interesting video for you guys at home. So all in all, would I recommend, looking for stock on Whatnot? Yes. Just be careful that you don't fall into, the trap of purchasing items that you shouldn't really be purchasing because you don't have time to do research. And then also keep in mind that shipping will also be added and it could sort of sneak up on you. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think of the platform Whatnot, whether you're going to start reselling on there, because I know that's what some people have started to do. I do think that it's probably going to be a platform that's going to take off as it gains more traction and you have more and more buyers over there. Who knows, one day I might end up selling over there. But for now, I think I might pop in and out. There are a couple of resellers that I've been watching that do shows that I might pop in and out and look out for those more desirable pieces like the two that I picked up today. But yeah, it's super fun, exciting. I think it's a fun way to get inventory. But yeah, I guess that is everything I have to say on the topic of Whatnot. It is a probably very quick video that I've just shown you, but just picked up a few items and thought that I would show them to you. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and yeah, without further ado, I will catch you in the next one. Thank you.